Tonight, Mythic Time Machine travels back to the hills of Judea, where ancient promises waited beneath Roman shadows. In the heart of Galilee, nestled among the gentle hills and rugged terrain, lies a village that once would have seemed unremarkable to any passing traveler. This small settlement, known as Nazareth, was a place of humble beginnings and quiet life. Its name, perhaps derived from the Hebrew word for branch, seems fitting for a community that quietly grew in the fertile soil of Galilean culture. At the time of Jesus' childhood, Nazareth was far removed from the bustling trade routes and political centers of the Roman Empire. Yet it was here, in this unassuming village, that the early years of Jesus unfolded. Surrounded by rolling hills and fertile valleys, Nazareth's geographical setting was both beautiful and practical. The village was perched on a limestone ridge with views that stretched across the fertile Jezreel Valley, where fields dotted the landscape with crops of barley and wheat. These fields provided sustenance and a sense of stability to the villagers, who lived closely connected to the rhythms of the land. Water flowed from nearby springs, nourishing both people and fields, and the verdant pastures supported herds of sheep and goats that dotted the hillsides. Life in Nazareth was simple and deeply communal. The village was small, perhaps a few hundred inhabitants at most, and life revolved around a central well where women gathered to draw water and exchange stories. The air was often filled with the sounds of daily labor, the rhythmic thud of a millstone grinding grain, the bleating of sheep, and the chatter of children playing in the dusty streets. These were the sounds of a community woven tightly together through shared toil and kinship. The people of Nazareth were primarily artisans and farmers, their daily lives shaped by the demands of the seasons and the modest economy of the village. Craftsmen honed their skills in small workshops, producing goods for local use and trade. Men like Joseph, Jesus' earthly father, would have labored as carpenters, shaping wood into tools and structures essential for the community's needs. Their hands were rough from work, yet their craft was a testament to their skill and perseverance. Women played a crucial role in the village, managing households, preparing meals, and weaving cloth. Their days were filled with tasks that sustained not just their families, but the entire community. Together, men and women worked in harmony, their roles interwoven like the very fabric of the garments they wore. This close-knit society was bound by traditions and a shared faith that centered around the synagogue, where the teachings of the Torah informed every aspect of life. The synagogue was more than just a place of worship. It was the heart of the community, a place where stories from the sacred texts were told and retold, shaping the moral and spiritual compass of the villagers. In Nazareth, every day was a testament to the strength of community bonds. These villagers knew the value of cooperation and reliance on one another, qualities that were likely impressed upon young Jesus as he observed and participated in the life around him. The simplicity of their lives, far from the grandeur of Jerusalem or the opulence of Rome, offered a richness found in relationships and shared purpose. As the sun set over the hills, casting a golden light over the village, the people of Nazareth would gather in the cool of the evening, sharing stories and laughter, united in their joys and struggles. In this humble setting, Jesus spent his formative years, absorbing the lessons of love, faith, and community that would later resonate through his teachings. In understanding Nazareth, we glimpse the quiet strength and enduring faith that shaped the young Jesus, preparing him for the path that lay ahead. Here, in this small village, the foundations were laid for a life that would change the world. In the modest village of Nazareth, the family of Jesus found its roots deeply entwined in the rhythms of an artisan's life. At the center of this humble household was Joseph, a man of skill and dedication, known to his neighbors as a tekton, a craftsman whose hands shaped the wood and stone that formed the backbone of village life. Joseph's workshop was more than a place of labor. It was a space where the values of patience, precision, and diligence were instilled. The air was filled with the scent of fresh-cut wood, and the rhythmic sound of tools meeting their mark echoed through the walls, a gentle symphony of creation. Within this environment, young Jesus grew, observing the steady hands of his father and the quiet grace with which he approached each task. Every piece crafted by Joseph was a testament to the family's standing in the community. Though not wealthy, their work was highly respected, and their reputation for honesty and quality was well known. This reverence for the craft not only provided for the family, but also wove them into the social fabric of Nazareth, earning them a place at the heart of village life. Mary, too, played a vital role in this close-knit family structure. Her tasks were numerous and varied, ranging from preparing meals to managing the household's needs. She nurtured a home filled with love and faith, a sanctuary where the teachings of the Torah were intertwined with the daily routines. It was here, in the warmth of family and the simplicity of daily life, that Jesus learned the value of commitment and care. He watched his mother's gentle hands at work, her actions a silent prayer of service and devotion, teaching him the profound strength in humility. The responsibilities within the household were shared, teaching Jesus the importance of contributing to the well-being of others. As he helped with chores, he learned the rhythms of work and rest, the cycles of planting and harvest that dictated the pace of life in Nazareth. The family's needs were met through a communal effort, fostering a sense of interdependence and mutual respect, values that would later resonate in Jesus' teachings of love and community. As a carpenter, Joseph's work was not only a means of sustenance, but also a form of artistry, a reflection of the divine creativity that Jesus would come to understand more deeply. The tangible nature of his father's trade offered Jesus a unique lens through which to view the world, a world where creation and craftsmanship were acts of worship in themselves. This artisanal life was grounding, a constant reminder of the beauty found in the everyday and the sacredness of labor. The village of Nazareth, with its simple homes and bustling workshops, was a place where every inhabitant played a role in the greater whole. For Jesus, the lessons learned in this environment were many. The importance of integrity, the dignity of honest work, and the power of community. These early experiences, shaped by the hands of an artisan father and the nurturing spirit of a devoted mother, laid the foundation for the profound truths that would later unfold in his ministry. Here, in the quiet moments of family life, the seeds of his mission were sown, nurtured by the love and labor of those who knew him best. In the village of Nazareth, the synagogue stood as a beacon of faith and learning, its simple structure serving as a gathering place for worship and education. This humble setting was where young boys, including Jesus, began their journey into the depths of their heritage, absorbing the sacred texts that had been passed down through generations. For Jesus, these early encounters with the Torah laid the foundations of his spiritual life, shaping the values and wisdom that would later define his teachings. The synagogue was more than just a place of prayer. It was the heart of community life, echoing with the voices of those who sought to understand the divine will. Here, the boys of Nazareth would gather, eager to learn from the elders who had devoted their lives to the study of Scripture. The air would be filled with the soft murmur of voices reciting ancient texts, the rustle of parchment, and the occasional gentle correction from a wise teacher guiding his charges with patience and care. For Jesus, these lessons were not merely academic exercises. They were an intimate encounter with the stories and laws that defined his people. Stories of creation, covenant, and deliverance that spoke of an enduring relationship between God and humanity. Within these sacred words, Jesus found a tapestry of faith woven through with themes of justice, mercy, and love, qualities that would later resonate throughout his own teachings. As part of their education, boys like Jesus would learn to read and interpret the Hebrew Scriptures, a skill that required dedication and discipline. They would commit to memory the words of the Torah, the Psalms, and the prophets, each verse a stepping stone on the path to understanding. This memorization was not simply about rote learning. It was about internalizing the essence of their faith, allowing the words to take root in their hearts and minds. The teachings were often imparted through storytelling, a beloved tradition that brought the Scriptures to life. Through vivid narratives, the boys of Nazareth could envision the trials and triumphs of their forebears, from the call of Abraham to the challenges faced by Moses and the Israelites. These stories provided more than historical lessons. They offered moral guidance, encouraging young minds to reflect on their own lives and the choices they would face. In this environment, Jesus was nurtured by the wisdom of his ancestors, his understanding deepened by the insights of those who had come before him. The synagogue became a place where he could question, explore, and grow, surrounded by a community that cherished its faith and traditions. It was here that Jesus began to develop his profound connection to the divine, a relationship that would guide him throughout his life and ministry. Through the teachings of the Torah, Jesus was introduced to the profound concepts of love and compassion. central tenets that he would later emphasize in his own message. The scriptures taught him about the importance of justice and righteousness, values that would underpin his actions and words as he reached out to those in need. These early lessons in faith provided Jesus with a framework upon which he would build his revolutionary vision of God's kingdom. In the village of Nazareth, under the guidance of devoted teachers and within the embrace of a supportive community, Jesus absorbed the teachings that would shape his understanding of the world and his role within it. These formative years spent learning the Torah were not just a preparation for adulthood, they were a vital part of his spiritual journey, setting the stage for the profound impact he would have on the world. In the heart of Nazareth, life unfolded like a tapestry, woven with the simple yet vibrant threads of daily activity and communal interaction. As dawn broke gently over the Galilean hills, the village gradually stirred to life, its inhabitants awakening to the rhythm of another day. The soft clatter of pottery, the rustling of woven baskets filled with produce, and the sound of laughter mingling with the morning breeze painted a serene portrait of daily existence. The marketplace, a lively hub of exchange, was where the pulse of the village could be felt most strongly. Here, beneath the warm embrace of the sun, villagers gathered to barter goods and share news. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafted through the air, mingling with the earthy scent of spices and herbs. Voices rose in friendly negotiation, each transaction a testament to the intricate web of relationships that bound the community together. It was a place where trust was cultivated alongside commerce, where neighbors became friends amidst the chatter of the day. Amidst this bustling scene, the young Jesus would have been a familiar presence, perhaps helping his family or simply observing the colorful tapestry of human interaction. These experiences, though seemingly mundane, were rich with lessons in empathy, patience, and the art of listening, a quiet education in the dynamics of human nature. The rhythm of village life was punctuated by the celebration of festivals, each one a joyous occasion that drew the community together in shared observance. The feast days, marked by music, dance, and the retelling of sacred stories, were moments of unity and reflection, reinforcing the common identity that bound the villagers. They gathered not only to honor their faith, but to reaffirm their connection to one another, celebrating the bonds of kinship and the blessings of their shared heritage. In the quiet evenings, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the vast sky, families would gather around their hearths. Stories were told, wisdom passed down through generations, and the younger ones were reminded of their place within this ancient lineage. The night air carried the gentle hum of voices, a symphony of shared experiences and mutual understanding. Within this tapestry of village life, the synagogue played a crucial role, not just as a center of worship, but as a place where the community could come together for solace, guidance, and support. It was here that the villagers found strength in their shared beliefs, a foundation upon which their daily lives were built. The sacred texts offered not only spiritual nourishment, but also a framework for navigating the complexities of human relationships. Every interaction, every shared meal, every whispered prayer contributed to a deep sense of belonging that defined the community of Nazareth. In this close-knit world, each individual was a vital thread, contributing to the strength and beauty of the whole. The villagers were bound by a shared identity, a collective memory that sustained them through the trials and triumphs of life. As Jesus grew within this community, he absorbed these rhythms, these lessons, these unspoken truths. The simple yet profound connections forged in the marketplace, at the festival, and around the family hearth would echo throughout his life, shaping his understanding of what it meant to belong, to love, and to serve. In Nazareth, amidst the gentle hills and the daily dance of human life, the seeds of his mission were quietly sown. Imagine the sun rising over the gentle hills of Galilee, casting warm, golden light across the fields and pathways of Nazareth. In this peaceful village, the laughter and shouts of children filled the air, as they eagerly gathered to play in the open spaces and narrow lanes that formed their childhood playgrounds. In these moments of freedom and joy, young Jesus, like any other child, found delight in the simple pleasures of play and exploration. The village itself was a canvas of discovery, with each corner offering new adventures. Children would often play games that required little more than imagination and the natural world around them. They might chase one another through the olive groves, their bare feet pounding against the earth as they invented stories of grand quests or heroic tales, inspired perhaps by the biblical stories they had heard in the synagogue. Stones became their tools, sticks their swords, and the very landscape their kingdom to explore. There were games of dexterity and skill, where small stones were tossed into the air and caught in quick succession, testing reflexes and coordination. These simple games taught patience and resilience, qualities that would serve them well in the years to come. Among the laughter and camaraderie, friendships were forged, and young Jesus was no exception. As he played, he learned the nuances of human interaction, how to share, how to lead, and how to be part of a community. The natural beauty of Galilee provided an enchanting backdrop for these youthful adventures. The hills rolled gently, dotted with wildflowers that painted the landscape with bursts of color. The air was fragrant with the scent of blooming plants, and the songs of birds accompanied the children's laughter. It was in these moments, surrounded by the splendor of creation, that Jesus might have first marveled at the wonders of the world, his heart stirring with the nascent understanding of his divine connection to all living things. Beyond games, exploration was a daily adventure, with each day offering new sights to behold. The fields, alive with the rustling of leaves and the hum of insects, beckoned the children to wander and wonder. Perhaps Jesus and his friends would venture to the edge of the village, where the view opened up to the vast expanse of the plains and hills beyond, evoking a sense of freedom and possibility. Here they could pause to reflect on the beauty of the land, the vastness of the sky, and the mysteries that lay beyond their immediate horizon. As the children explored, they developed a keen awareness of their environment and learned to navigate the world with curiosity and respect. These experiences were formative, subtly shaping Jesus' understanding of his surroundings and his place within them. The relationships he formed during these years were equally profound, as he learned to see others with compassion and empathy, qualities that would define his ministry in the years to come. In the quiet moments of rest after a day of play, perhaps Jesus would lay back, gazing at the clouds drifting lazily across the sky, his mind filled with questions and dreams. These were the formative years, where the seeds of his future teachings were sown, where love, kindness, and understanding took root amidst the innocence of childhood. The simplicity of these days in Nazareth, the laughter of friends, and the beauty of the landscape were more than just the backdrop of Jesus' early life. They were the building blocks of his character, the gentle nudges that guided him towards his destiny. In the quietude of Nazareth, amidst the games and exploration, a foundation was being laid, a foundation that would one day change the world. In the quiet corners of Nazareth, where the whispers of the wind carry tales of ancient traditions, a young Jesus grew amidst a rich tapestry of spiritual and cultural influences. This small village, with its humble dwellings and close-knit community, was a place where Jewish customs and Roman rule coexisted in a delicate balance, each leaving an indelible mark on the lives of its inhabitants. From the synagogues came the echo of Torah readings, a melody that shaped the moral and spiritual framework within which Jesus was raised. The teachings of the Torah were not merely lessons of the past, they were living words, guiding the actions and intentions of the people. As Romans patrolled the region, their presence served as a constant reminder of the wider world beyond Nazareth's borders. Their influence was seen in the roads that connected distant lands, in the coins exchanged at the markets, and in the occasional Roman words that mingled with Aramaic in conversation. Yet despite this external presence, the heart of Nazareth beat with a distinctly Jewish rhythm. Festivals brought vibrant celebrations where families gathered to honor their heritage, singing songs that had been passed down through generations. These gatherings were more than mere tradition. They were a reaffirmation of identity, a statement of resilience and faith. In this environment, Jesus absorbed the stories of his ancestors, tales of exile and return, of hope and redemption. He learned of the covenant between God and his people, a promise that transcended the temporal challenges posed by foreign rulers. Amidst the bustle of daily life, there was a profound sense of anticipation, a yearning for the fulfillment of prophecies spoken by the prophets of old. This spiritual longing was palpable, a quiet undercurrent that flowed through conversations and prayers.